Hi guys, welcome to another beer review. You join me on a quite warm late March day, and it's about mid-afternoon. Just about to have some lunch, just some simple cheese bread thingies with a bit of cheddar, a bit of cream cheese, and then this like paprika sort of spread as well. It's a veggie thing, even though I've completely whatever. Not that anybody even wants to know. I'm in the mood for a beer, and I was looking in my little stash downstairs, and there's a couple of hoppy beers that I should get out of the way, even though I was saying to myself that I need to take a week or so off, just no beer whatsoever. And it was going to be this week, but unfortunately, I've got beers that I want to drink before they get past the best. So we're going over to the Nittenau, or Brauhaus Nittenau, I should say. A brewery that I have covered a few times on the channel. And this is the Joe's Enigma, which is a rye IPA, clocking in at 7.5%. Best before date is 2nd of the 12th, 2017. And this is essentially a rye IPA brewed using Enigma hops, which are something quite new here in Germany. Of course, Enigma coming from Australia. So Germany playing around with somewhat new world hops, which is always a good thing. And yeah, first of all, fantastic looking artwork. This one comes courtesy by Paul Grabowski, or Grabowski, who of course has done the artwork for Yankee and Kraut's beers. And yeah, whenever I can, I like to promote the designers and illustrators, graphic designers who spend their time creating beautiful looking labels, and it really does stand out, especially when you compare it to what the Nittenau beers usually look like. They're very uniform, but this is a lot more colourful. I love the hand-drawn aesthetic to it, and yeah, another fine job indeed. I've only had a few rye IPAs. I've had a few more rye beers in general, which is not much, to be honest. So I'm expecting getting hops already, just fresh off opening that bottle. I'm expecting some bready, earthy, spicy tones coming from that rye, mixing well with... I'm not sure I've had too many beers that use Enigma. I don't know what the characteristics of the hop are, so it's one of those things where I probably should have done a lot of research beforehand and had like a piece of paper down here. But yeah, I like to go in blind sometimes, and I like to sometimes do a lot of research when it comes to beer reviews. So I'm using my Eichhofner shaker glass, or shaker pint glass. Well, it's not really a pint, because I've not used it much. I always usually use my like Teku glass, but it gets a little bit boring. I do need to expand my glassware, which is something I hope to do. I've got no real like good stouty glasses, but yeah, beer in a glass, and I can still smell this lovely hop character. I'm not smelling it too much because I want to get in. As you can see, beer is now in the glass, and it looks a little bit darker on camera as it does to me, but you could definitely see that murk. You could see little lumps of sedimentation in there as well, floating around. Very, very hazy, very murky. Colour is sort of like a coppery, orangey colour. It's got those IPA hues, but you get this almost like Zwickle look to it, or land beer look. You can definitely detect that the rye's in that beer. But yeah, looks fantastic. Carbonation is relatively relaxed, not too aggressive. And beer poured with about one finger's worth of a slightly off-white head, which seems to be holding its own. So already it looks great. Let's see what we get on the aroma. And I'm just getting hops primarily. Get this like bubblegum flavour in there, but then you've got this like tropical side to it, and you get that lovely like slightly resiny hop character, the oils coming from the hops. And there is a little bit of a spicy note, not too much. Definitely got some bready tones in there. You can pick up that rye character, but not too much. But yeah, my first experience that I know of with the Enigma hop, and it smells fantastic. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, guys. Well, straight away, I'm getting a real sense of earthiness to it. Definitely pick up that rye bread character. A little bit of a slight coriander, peppery note in there, mixing in with that rye flavour, which I guess is coming from the rye aspect. Almost when you finish drinking it on your tongue, it's like when you've had like ginger powder in something and it like latches onto the tongue. It's very weird. I've got this a lot recently. It doesn't taste like ginger. Don't get it's not like that, but it's almost like you get a weird sensation on your tongue, and then on the back end you get like a slightly dry sensation as well. So it's really making you want to get more of this beer onto your palate. Very drinkable. No way is that 7.5%. Aside from some slight warmth going down. Very easy drinking. It's got an upper medium body to it. That carbonation works really, really nice. Not too aggressive, but not too lackluster. But you get this lovely, exotic, sherbety, sort of tropical flavour coming from that hop. And if it is indeed a single hopped beer, it's really showcasing that hop. It really, really is. Like I said at the start, I don't really know the characteristics of the Enigma hop from Australia. So I can't say if it's a great example of the utilisation of the hop. But it's got these like little bits and bats which are slightly unfamiliar to me. Without just saying, oh, it's a hoppy beer. It is hopped really, really nicely. Not too aggressive. You do get the hop oils and resins on the back end. That plays with that slight alcohol warmth. It plays around with that slight spicy, dry sensation coming from the rye aspect. And that's the thing, the rye isn't in your face. I've had rye beers where it's a little bit too much, where it's a little bit too dense and bready on the flavour. But this, it's beautifully balanced. It really, really is. And I've got to say, this is another cracking job from the Nittenau brewery. They're one of the breweries here in Bavaria that they don't charge an arm and a leg for their beers. Some of the more specialty ones you pay maybe a couple of euros more. I think I picked this up for like €2.30. It's worth every cent. It does exactly what it says on the bottle as well, but it's done in such a lovely, drinkable way. And it's one that you could session a couple of these. As I'm talking now, that like bitterness and the alcohol warmth is building up slightly. So I probably should pace myself with the rest of this beer. But I've got to say, that's another fantastic job, and I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. Beautiful, beautiful little beer. And yeah, if you ever get the opportunity to try it, do so. Give Nittenau a look. They do some fantastic beers. Some of them are quite basic. Some of them aren't exactly standout examples of the style. But for their availability, for their affordability, high quality beers, and it's great to see with the last few examples that I've had from them that they're still a brewery that are fairly established, but they're constantly evolving, and that's what I love about this craft beer scene, not only here in Germany but in general. And yeah, does exactly what it says on the tin, or the glass bottle I should say. It's a complete package, it's a beautifully designed beer, and the contents inside are fantastic. So it's a 9 out of 10. Check out the Nittenau Brauhaus Nittenau down below. Check out my Nittenau playlist for a few more beers. There are some that I still need to get actually reviewed because I have drank more than I've reviewed from them. Check out my IPA playlist down below as well. And yeah, I should say that I picked this up from Birretta. And yeah, check out Birretta, check out Brauhaus Nittenau, check out my IPA playlist, check out my Nittenau playlist. And more importantly, I hope you'll join me next time for another beer review. So, I'm a little bit peckish now, so I'm going to go. See you guys later.